Good evening, or should I say good night. It is just gone past 12 o'clock and I didn't think I'd just pop on, but I've had this song going on in my head, and if you follow me you'll know that I get songs part of my telepathy, my twin flame journey, my spiritual awakening, my connection to spirit, angels, ascended masters, all of that. And I've had a Alanis Morissette song going off in my head all day, what it all comes down to. And if you follow me, I automatic write also, which is another form of connection to spirit. So this song going round in my head all day, and today was the first time I went back to my mum's bungalow after 8 months of saying goodbye to her after a battle with an illness. About 8 or 9 months now. And I always knew I'd return back one day. Just that knowing, and I guess, when you say goodbye to a loved one, you like to return to where that loved one was happy and where you have memories with that loved one. It's just that human in us, it's that connection that we feel to a place, to a time, to a memory, to a loved one. It's that connection, it's that human in us. I guess somewhere, without knowing, it's that soul as well. And something in my soul was pulling me back there today. But it started out, like I've had many days like this where I've just woke up and I've just got out of bed and I've known I've had to go to a certain place, and knowing I had to go there to see a certain person also, but not knowing why I'm feeling this. Or it can come in as a name will come to me. So like my sister Donna, I knew there was times where there was things that I had to do for my sister Donna. So yeah, it's like names and just little nuggets of information that I get that I know it's important, I don't ever not listen to it now because my intuition is on point. So I know when these things are coming through that there's reasons why. Spirit or someone from spirit is guiding me. So I wrote a bit of automatic writing just to speak about a day in the life of a spiritually awake woman, 8 years. So I know these nuggets, little golden nuggets that Jesus is Jesus is leading me. Yeah, Mary Magdalene and all that left me little golden nuggets of a time. I'm not ashamed to say it. But I know these little golden nuggets, I have to listen, I have to follow, because I know that that's part of why I'm here, is to be sent to places, to drop off my codes. Whether that's just a kind word, whether that's just sitting with somebody, whether that is just turning up and offering a reading, all different, but it's part of my mission here is I get sent to places. I know that now. I've been on it long enough. So yeah, today was the first time I went back to visit my mum's bungalow after 8 months or more, I'd say about 9, of her passing. I found myself riding down there, and I was going to my sister's you know, to go see my sister, which I'd arranged yesterday. I said, I'll come down tomorrow and see you tomorrow. But then this morning, things took a completely different direction. If you follow me, you'll know I talk about directions and detours, and yeah, like the twin flame journey, spiritual awakening journey, it took a detour, and it took me in a totally different direction. It took me the opposite direction. It's like 8 years ago when I woke up to this connection. My life was going in one direction. No, an invisible force decided it's that direction you're going. And that was the same this morning. And I was like, what's happening? So I'm riding on my bike. Originally heading towards my sister's. But once I got to a certain, there's like 2 directions you can take. So, you know, you've got a choice. And once I got to a certain point, I was heading off to my sister's, I was heading to my mum's. And my bike just veered to my mum's. And you could feel a pull saying, go to your mum's. And obviously I know my mother is not there anymore. No. That's the human in me, you know. The human knows that I'm grieving my mum still, and she's no longer at this place where she used to live, her human form. But that soul in me could hear my mum going, come here, love. Like, so that soul was listening. My soul is leading the way now. So that's why I can hear things more clearly. So I didn't question it. My bike literally was on its own journey, you know. It was just, yeah. So I ended up at my mum's after 9 months of her passing. And yeah, it was just like an invisible force guiding me. But I've had this invisible force 8 years now. I'm well aware, well attuned to, I have to follow it. I followed it 8 years ago when I was going in a direction and I thought I had it all figured out, and this was the direction of my life. I listened to that. I listened to my soul, and it took me total opposite direction, and it brought me into more of a knowing and a listening of these golden nuggets, you know, that messages come through to me. Now I'm a clear antenna, let's put it that way. I get that signal, you know. My aerial is, yeah, clear. And yeah, today it was very, very clear. I had to go to my mum's. So I ended up there. So, you know, I've wrote it down here, but yeah, I don't think I need to read this. So I ended up at my mum's, and first thing that happens when I get there is my mum's neighbour is stood outside, and I've never met this man before, but I was there. I knew once I got to my mum's, I would visit my mum's neighbour, who was one of her very, very good friends, and a neighbour for 16 odd years since she lived in the bungalow. And I've met this lady before, and she became friends with me. But because I'd been not ready and grieving my mum still, I'd not visited her because it was a bit too raw, because it was right next door to my mum's. So but I did say I would be in touch when the time's right, you know. But I don't think, you know, she quite believed that I would. Yes, I thought I'd pop in, you know. I thought, while I'm up there and my mum's calling me back there, I'll pop in and say hello to Jean, the lady my mum's friend. And this man greeted me as I was walking up, and he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hi," and then I said, "I'm Beaver's daughter." And oh, that lady's there. Yeah. I said, is Jean in? Which was the lady I was visiting. And it was like, yeah. And I could see something was not, sitting right with it. And he was like, can I tell you something strange? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm used to strange. I'm a psychic medium. I see things before it comes. I get guided to these places when I'm supposed to be going in total opposite direction. Yeah, I'm used to strange. I'm a twin flame. Of course I'm used to strange. Yeah, you can tell me anything. What shocked me? You can't get shocked on this path. So it was like a few weeks later, after your mum passed, I came out to have a ciggy in the garden in the evening, and I saw your mum sat in the garden. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I said, because she loved the garden. That was mine and my mum's thing. We wouldn't sit in a bungalow. We would sometimes, but we'd get out in the garden and we'd do a garden up and put a little fences and, learn where the garden. And yeah, that was mine and my mum's thing. We loved the garden. So I was like, yeah, my mum loved the garden. So yeah, sounds about right. She would be sat out, and he just looked at me as if to say, well, you took that rather well. And I was like, well, you've got the daughter that is spiritually in touch with spirit, every day for 8 years since she woke up to there's more to this earthly realm. Yeah, you've got the right daughter, that you can't shock. No, nothing shocks me like that. Nothing anybody tells me can shock me, because I've been shocked. I've been up against shocks 8 years on my twin flame journey. That was the biggest shock of my life. What came after that? Yeah, used to it. So yeah, that was the first thing. So I thought, right, come on then, what are you trying to tell me? And then he mentioned, do you know that Jean lost her husband not long back? And I didn't know that because I'd not been back for 8 months. I was like, no, I didn't. And I knew instantly why my mum had been calling me there, calling me back this particular day. I knew if I even knocked on the door that I was there to help Jean. Whether that was just in a conversation, whether that was just to sit with her, whether that was just to give her a hug, whether that was... I knew. So I knocked on the door. And of course she answered. But she was about to go out, so I'd just caught her in, as fate would have it, No coincidence. I was in the right place at the right time. My mum had called me from beyond to go help her friend, because she knew that that was me, that's what I'm here for. She knows that. And Jean answered the door, and she was so happy to see me. And she said the words, oh, you must have known I needed you today. And these words was my mum's words when I tipped up one day after having a dream, because I get messages in my dreams, and it was telling me to go see my mum. She needs you. So I got on my bike, went down to my mum's. She opened the door and she was like, you must have known I needed your love today. And Jean said those exact words to me today. And it was like my mum was saying those words again. And I was like, you called me your mum for Jean. Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't meant to be there. I was going total opposite direction. Well, it's funny how life can do that, And it's funny how loved ones can reach from beyond and guide us to other people still on the earthly realm, that they cared about, you know, and they need that guidance. So I sat with Jean and we had a cup of tea and just sat in the garden. We talked about my mum, we reminisced, and I said, oh, come on, let's water your flowers, Jean, come on, let's get these flowers blooming again. And you know, you can see the sadness in it. It's early days, you know, but you can't put time on grief. And that's what she was saying to me. She was, well, people just expect me to be. I was like, no, be kind to yourself, Jean. You can't put time on grief. No amount of time on a person you've had in your entire life to grieve. No, there's no time limit on grief. There's no time limit on unconditional love and that connection. And you know, she was just, could see that she needed a friend, and my mum could see she needed a friend, and yeah, that's why I was there. But you know, I've done it many times. I've ended up in places I shouldn't have been going to, but that's because I follow my soul. I listen to that pull. I listen to that soul. I listen to my soul. I'm soul led now, and it guides me to be in the right places at the right time. And you know, I stayed with her for an hour and a half, and we watered the flowers, and I said, come on, let's get a bit of life into these flowers, and let's, you know, these plants, you know, need watering and nourishing, and you do as well. You know, look after yourself, and I'll be down again next week. And she was like, oh, well, yeah. I was like, oh, I'll stay in, I'll wait in, and it just, like, yeah, I knew why I was there, and it changed, you know, just somebody caring and reaching out. And I'm not a daughter, I'm not a family. You don't have to be, you know, to care about people. You don't have to be blood. You can change a person's day, you can change a person's life just by showing up, by caring, by showing that unconditional love. You know, and I know it took her back, and I don't think she was expecting me to be there, but my mum wanted me there, and I listened to her, and I was there for my mum's friend, just like my mum would have been if she was still here, you know. But my mum come through to me, and that connection never ever dies, ever. It's just an illusion we're separated, you know. That's the illusion. That connection can never ever separate. So that's the story of a day in the life of a twin flame and psychic medium and oracle, and yeah, much more, you know, because I'm soul led. So when you're soul led, you know you're much more. There's no way of not knowing. So yeah, and this song, so says, I wrote a little bit Alanis Morissette, what it all comes down to had been going on in my head one morning, and I was like, well, what's this about? You know, songs, yeah. So I'll listen to the songs. It's vibration, it's frequency, it's guiding me somewhere. There's messages in songs. So I wrote, finding peace amidst the chaos, amidst the contradictions in life. Like today, I was meant to be going to visit my sister, but I went the complete opposite way. You know, I totally went the opposite way. Eventually did get to my sister's a few hours later, after my mum, not spirit, after my mum detoured me to help her friend. Yeah. I eventually did get to the destination I was meant to. But yeah, I were complete opposite of where I ended up. Yeah, this is my life. I'm in the complete opposite place of where I thought I would end up in my life at this time of my life. But it's all okay, you know. Like the song says, it's gonna be alright, you know. Everything's gonna be fine. Yeah. But I trusted that everything was working out the way that it should. Yeah. Listen to my mum. Could hear her voice so clear anyhow. And just that pull. It's like my bike had its wings and it was taking me to my mum's bungalow. But I knew obviously not to see my mum. But I knew it was coming from my mum. Did not exactly know what. When I got there, that's when the answers was revealed while I was there. Made sense. So, I'm going to pull angel card. Yeah, I'm going to come back on tomorrow and do a little bit more automatic writing of this song, because there's messages in this song. It's getting late, you know, now, but just had to get this reading out because, yeah, it's connection, you know, even from the other side, especially. There's there's no separation physically. Yes, that's the limitation. That's the human limitation, you know, the physical. So, nah, always connected. Okay, let's see what the angels have to say. Angel of mine, message please, angels. Message please, angel. Angels, message please. Protection, clarity, spirituality, and wisdom. Yeah. Guardian angels. Yeah, you know, our loved ones, when they transition, have to leave this earthly realm, they become our protection and our guardian angels. My mum was Jean's guardian angel today for her friend. She knew her friend is in much need of a friend and a kind, just a person, you know, just to sit and listen, so she can reminisce and talk, and yeah, just, yeah, my mum was her guardian angel. More messages please, angels. Any more messages? Any more messages please, angels? Yeah, connected. See, he's standing on that earthly realm, but it's got his angel wings. It's that connection, you know, from what we have on earth to the heaven. It's that human and that divine connection. It's never separate. You know, and the angel holding a light, guarding the way. My mum knows I'm on the earth. I've got my angel wings. She knows that. And I'm holding this light. I'm guarding. I'm showing Jean the light again. I'm holding that light for her. And I'm saying, come on. You've got this. You're still on earth. You know, I'm that guardian angel that's still on the earthly realm. My mum is the guardian angel that's in spirit. So my mum came through from spirit. Said, you're still on the earthly realm, Millie. Jean needs your light. And they've told me I'm an angel on earth. Like this angel here. The angels was one of the very, very, very first things that came through to me when my journey took a different direction and I started to wake up spiritually 8 years ago. They told me I'm an angel on earth. But to come back to my light and holding the light for others, I had to find my colours. I had to heal the full spectrum. So the chakras. I had to find my colours again. To find my light. Yeah, I had to evolve. I had to transform. I had to be prepared. And I had to become in my empowerment. Yeah. Any more messages, angels? Yeah, angels aren't just up in the sky, in the heavens. We've got angels on earth. I know that because as woo as it sounds, I am one. And there is many, many like me. And that's what my mum knew. She was sending me there to be Jean's angel on earth, to hold that light for her in a time of her need, time of her pain. She knew. I'll send Ellie. I'll get her on a bike and I'll send her. You know, like I say, we sat in the garden and we watered the flowers. We nourished those flowers because they looked a bit dry and a bit thirsty. And she even said I've been, you know, I haven't been watering them. Of course you haven't. You're not in your right. You know, of course you haven't. You're not in the right place to water your flowers. I said, but how about today we water them? You know, sunny day. I said, I think they need water. Everything needs water. Fresh water and nourishment to grow and bloom. And when I left there, she promised she'd fill this tray. She had like a tray, like a wooden, what's the word, not trellis is it, can't remember, like a wooden boxed area where she had all little plants in it, and the plants had fizzled out because they'd been neglected a little bit. She promised me next week when I turn up again to visit her, she's gonna, you know, plant new plants, plant a new garden, new seeds, grow a fresh garden. And that was the message, you know, I was giving her today. You can always plant new seeds and grow a fresh garden we're still on the earthly realm, you know, so we still have to carry on and grow our gardens and bloom and live our best life, you know, because that's what the ones in spirit would want us to do. Carry on and live our best lives and grow our garden. Any more? Any more messages? Well, one's just fall out my hands, literally. And then it's this one. Validation. Yeah. This was me on my bike. And before, also, this man mending his bike. Well, I'd set off, and luckily I didn't get very far because my chain wasn't on my bike properly. So I was having issues, you know, this morning. And I was like, what? You know, what's going on? What? I just want to get on my bike and I want to go see my sister, because those folks had not come in at that point. It was when I was riding down and I had 2 directions to choose from. And I listened to my soul, you know. My human self was going, go see your sister. You haven't seen her for a bit. But my soul self, the one that could hear my mum, my soul, was, we need you this way, go this way. But first I had to fix my bike, because it was like the chain was off, and I was like, oh, what are you doing? But I knew, you know, I was being prepared for something. I knew that this day was going to bring surprises and validation of what I was feeling underneath the surface. I thought, why am I feeling this way? Yeah, as soon as I'd got my bike fixed, I was ready, you know, it says you're ready. Yeah, I was ready. And then as soon as I got to that direction that I had to choose, I was like, right, I'm being prepared here. There's reasons why I am hearing this pull. And I picked up momentum, and then as soon as I got to my mum's bungalow, knocked on the door to my mum's friend, sat down for a few minutes, and she told me what had been happening in the last months. I'd not seen her. I had my validation. I knew, you know, that's what I was there for all along. Wasn't to go see my mum's bungalow. It wasn't to go reminisce about my mum. Wasn't to feel her, you know, again there. No, she'd called me back there to help a friend, because she knew, she knows I'm this angel on earth. That's not an ego thing. That's knowing. And they've told me. The angels in spirit have told me. And I'm this light now because I've done the work. So I've returned the light back to me. I've returned all my colours back to me. I've returned my angel wings back to me. And now I can carry this light for others and be this angel on earth. Have connection to spirit, but also be on the earth. And I can hold that light for others. Yeah, it was a doozy of a day. And I came in and I fell straight to sleep. Because, you know, emotions and facing something that you've been dreading also. Because I was dreading that one day I would go back there. I knew I would go back there one day. That's hearing me. Knew I would. Did not know when, but I guess today was the day. And it's because I listened. I listened to my mum calling me, and I listened to that, you know, my soul guarding me. And, you know, I could see the change in her after an hour of being there. She wanted to water her flowers again. She wanted to nourish herself also. She was like, are you hungry? And I was like, not me, no, but you get some food. Well, I haven't been eating much, but I could eat something now. That's because my light had touched her. By the time I'd got there, her face was like, ah! That's the difference you can make to somebody's life just by showing up. Just by saying, I'm here, I care. You might not be blood, you might not be family. Does not matter. It's connection. She wasn't my mum's family, but my mum cared for her. And my mum cared enough to come through to me today, knowing that I could help her. Just like my mum knew I was there for her. Now she's in spirit, she'll definitely know who I am on earth. But she knew anyway, you know. She always said that she knew why I was here. So yeah, beautiful story, beautiful day, bittersweet, you know, like this song, what it all comes down to. Everything's gonna be fine, fine, fine. Yeah, everything was fine. I want like cracking up and crying or anything like that, like I thought I would do once I returned back to that place of memories and love and loss and all those human things. No, I was too busy being this light. Totally forgot, you know, about the loss and all of that. No, I was too busy being that light and helping Jean find their colours again and grow her garden. And she's going to be fine, fine, fine. And I'm going to visit her again next week. And we're going to grow some more flowers. I'm going to keep watering her garden. She's going to have a brand new garden. Because she's on this earth and she has to carry on watering her garden. Yes, she misses a loved one. Yes, we all do. But we are on the earth. And you have to, you know, keep watering your garden and living every day with colours. Bringing that colour, you know, into your life. Yeah. That's it then for this one. Feel another one coming on, but I'm going to cut this one short. Well, not short, it's 38 minutes. And I'm going to come on and do another. And I know I should be sleeping, but I feel spirit coming through. I'll speak to you soon.